So what is the next thing you want to know?
Okay, the next thing I want to know is help around this situation. I offer a maintenance program to clients, but only one client does it. Um,
Mhm.
Meaning that like people will continue to take photos. So once we organize their 20, 30, 40, 50 years of photos, they've got a nice, beautiful, searchable library, but they're still taking photos. And even though I teach them when I present them their new collection, here's how to maintain it, nobody does it. So I cover it like I can maintain your photos like once a year. Let me pop in there. We can do it totally remotely and, let me just clean it up for you. But only one client. I've had 20 in the last, few years
Mhm.
work with me, and not one has taken me up on that. So I must not be selling it right.
Okay, so take me through a typical example, right? They've paid, and you can pick real numbers or generic numbers if you want. I'm just trying to get the sort of percentages. So they pay X for you to organize their existing photos. And then tell me like what you're offering is they pay Y to get a once a year check-in, or sort of tell me the relationship between the two.
So let's say our standard digital photo organizing client will have, let's say, 80,000 photos in their collection when they come to
Okay.
me. So they're freaked out. Um, we'll organize those, we'll remove the dupes. We'll call if they need them to be called. We'll create, keywords and tags and stuff so they can find everything. And then I'll say, this is what you should do once a month. You should go through your photos and you should get rid of the screenshots and get rid of the dupes and get rid of the burst photos. And, whether you're using Apple or, well, I typically work with Mac clients, but,
Mhm.
or if you're on a Android, the same thing. It's pretty simple. But nobody does it, and then they find that, like, in a year or 2, they're like, their photos are a mess again. So, like, up to where I organized them, they were great, but now they have this mess, and they've got a wedding coming up for a friend, and they wanna put together a book or something for them as a gift.
Right.
And they're like, "I can't find anything anymore, like, what happened?"
So let me ask you in terms of what they pay again, and you don't have to give specific numbers. I'll pick just generic numbers, right? So let's say that I'm making this up. Let's say they pay $1,000 for the initial organization.
Yeah,
Okay.
it would be a lot
How
more
much?
item.
Right. I have no idea what the price is, but just for easy math, right? $1,000. And then what would they pay? What's the ongoing product or the maintenance? Like what percentage is it? Is it
It
$100? Is it $500? Is it another $1,000? Like what are they paying?
it really depends on how many photos they've taken. So,
Okay.
like, if they have 80,000, let's say I charge them $5,000 to
Yeah.
clean up their mess.
Hmm.
And the next year they take another 5,000 photos, it would be a lot less. Like, let's say it would be $800,
Okay.
for me to clean it up. So it's not
Okay.
that big of an investment.
And when are you offering it to them?
As soon as I deliver the finished product, I show them how to go through it.
Hmm.
And then I say, if you don't want to do it, I'm happy to do it. Check in with you once, every 2 months.
And they say, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm like, okay, let's see
Okay.
how good you are.
And then do you follow up with them later or only if they reach out to you?
No, I do follow up. I have a newsletter that goes out twice a month, just
Mhm.
so I stay top of
But do
mind.
you specifically, so for example, do you specifically reach out to a client a year after they hired you and say, hey, have things become a mess? Want some help?
I don't. What I do is I store their photos for 6 months, and then I
Hmm.
email them and say I'm about to delete
Hmm.
backed up photos. Do
Hmm.
you need help at this point? So maybe that's the problem. Maybe I should be targeting them
So
yearly.
yeah, so a couple thoughts here. And is the offer a one-time fee? Is it a subscription?
It could be. It could
It's
totally
pay,
be.
it's pay as you go though, basically, right?
Yeah.
You're not
Yeah.
locking them into. Okay. So here's the first issue that I see is they're hiring you to fix a problem they have initially. You come in, you fix their problem.
Yep.
They're like, oh my God, this is amazing. My problem's gone.
Yeah.
And now you're trying to sell them for a problem that they don't have. And in their mind, they think, now I'm not going to go back to that, right? I'm going to be fine, right? It's almost like, this is a weird analogy, but like the person that loses weight or that gets in shape assumes they've turned the corner. They don't assume they're going to go back and put on more weight.
Correct.
right? They just paid you thousands of dollars or whatever. My photos are organized. Great. Like they're not in the mindset of I'm going to have another problem. And they actively don't want to believe that because it's going to make them feel like I just paid for this and this, I'm just going to wind up back where I was. Right. So that's a hard sell timing wise. And it's almost undercutting the victory moment that you've just given them.
Wow.
So my advice would be is I would not be trying to sell that at the end of sort of the initial service. I would sell it before they hire you as an upgraded package when everything's a mess,
Oh my God.
which also might help them buy initially, because I am sure there are people that are like, I'm going to pay her. She's going to organize everything. And I'm just going to go back to my usual ways. And this is going to be a mess. So why am I going to pay if I'm not going to maintain it? But for you to come in and say, here's how much it costs, and you're going to forever be organized because you can pay up front for as many yearly maintenance things as you want. And in that state, the person might go, I'll take 5 years of maintenance. And you could even give them a discount on the maintenance up front. So now they're buying, I'm going to be organized and would be organized for the next 5 years for a little bit more money.
That's like what they do with computers. And whenever you buy a fancy electronics, like buy our warranty package.
Right. Mm-hmm. Right. So the first thing I would do is I would offer it up front. Because number one, I think it's going to help you sell more up front anyway, because I'm sure there are people that are like, I'm not going to keep up with this. Like, it'd be great to have, but it's just going to go right back to being a mess.
Yep.
So I think it removes that reason for people to say no. I also think they're already, if they're in the moment that they're going to buy this, like you said, just like a warranty, why wouldn't I be like, yeah, I might as well have at least another year's maintenance. Well, sure. Here's another, what's the difference between me paying $5,000 and $5,800?
Right.
Doing it anyway. I might as well do it. Right. So that's where I would emphasize trying to sell it. You could even potentially make your base package include the maintenance.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, price accordingly, right? Like the way I used to treat subscriptions was the annual, like let's say I was doing a newsletter subscription that was $10 a month, right? I would purposefully price an annual at $10 a month and then a monthly at $20 a month. I didn't really want people to take the monthly. I wanted them to take the annual.
Yep.
You want people to take it with the maintenance, right? So you could go, this is my package. It includes, I'm making this up, it includes 2 years of maintenance. If you don't want that, you can buy just the one-off, but you can price it a little more.
Yep.
Right. Yep. So that they look at it and go, why wouldn't I just get the 2 years of maintenance? You know, it's what I'm making this up, but whatever it is, it's $6,000 with 2 years of maintenance. And it's $5,000 just for the package. Someone's going to look at that and go, why wouldn't I just get the 2 years of maintenance?
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
I would do that. I would not bother trying to sell it when they're done, like where you've been selling it. But I would add, for people that don't buy the maintenance up front, I would add a 1 year, an annual check-in directly to that client. Hey, how's it going? Could you use a little help? You invested all that money to organize it, and now you feel like it's a mess. Why don't we get you back up to speed? Because then they're back in that problem state. Right?
Oh my God, yes. Yep.
And by the way, they may not want it. Right? It's just not a product that interests them, but I have a hunch they will. I have a hunch you've been selling it in the wrong spot and thinking of it as this sort of upgrade, and maybe it should be part of the core product.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Perfect.
Here we go. All right. We're 2 for 2.